The Roth IRA is one of the most powerful retirement tools in America, but most people ignore it. Why? Well, let's uncover the reasons and why you might want to take advantage of it now. And I was just thinking about my taxes and, for some people, they might not know the information about contributing to a Roth IRA, and for other people, they might be making a little bit too much and they might think at first glance that they cannot contribute, but there are ways around that we'll get into later. That cutoff happens at a much lower level than you might think. But first, something that's totally free is clicking that like button and subscribing if you have not already done so. It really helps the algorithm and I would greatly appreciate it. So what is the Roth IRA? Well, key points here are it's after tax. So you've paid your tax, and after you pay your tax, you can put it into this account called a Roth IRA account. Now, this grows tax-free. So once you've paid your tax first on your income, however you've got the money, you put this money away, and whatever that grows up to, you can take it out tax-free, provided you do certain things. Now you can withdraw it, provided that you've had the account open at least for 5 years. You can have switched the account from different companies, but you've had to contribute to your Roth for at least 5 years. You also must be at least 59.5 to have completely tax-free withdrawals. Now there are contribution limits and there are income caps. So I have another video that goes into detail on this, but you can really enjoy how that Roth IRA grows over time and taking it out tax-free in decades from now. Now, in terms of the power of a Roth, look, the key points here are that there are no required minimum distributions. Because you've paid tax before putting the money in, the tax man is not going to come after you later. So you don't need to take the money out at a certain age, unlike the traditional 401k, 403b, where because you are doing pre-tax in and you pay tax when it comes out, the taxman wants it at some point or other in the future, a certain amount. And this is really good to have that tax diversification in retirement. It is perfect for those that are young or in low tax bracket investors because you're paying low tax right now most likely, and you put this in, it grows tax-free. Don't wait until you're a little bit older and making a bigger income and paying more tax. So if you're in college right now and you've got a job on the side, you can basically declare your tax, you can put the money in. You don't have to have a regular job for this. You could even be cutting lawns for all I care, as long as you pay the tax on your income, as long as you actually do your taxes. It's really like paying taxes on the seed, not the harvest. And the harvest could just grow so much. So it's good you're paying taxes up front and you're not paying taxes later. Now, for those that think that taxes have only one way to go with all the future expenditures, the uncounted liabilities and the debt, older working age, etc., maybe taxes have only one way to go. Maybe they're going to be progressively getting higher. So maybe this is a great thing because in the future you won't be paying taxes on this. So that's a good idea as opposed to waiting until years from now with the 401k. So some people do decide they wanted to basically do a Roth version of the 401k as well. Now, why do we think that it's underused? Getting into the gist of this video, why is it that it is underused? Well, first, you got the lack of awareness or financial education, which is part of this channel, and other channels like it are there to make sure that it's available for everyone. Second, there's some confusion over the eligibility and limits. You don't need a regular job to start doing this, unlike your 401ks, for instance. You can have a side hustle. You could even be mowing lawns as a college student. And even if you're earning too much, there's a backdoor way of getting into it as well. A third thing is the short-term mindset or myopia, right? We're living in the now. This you only live once or YOLO. We really should be probably thinking about long-term planning because the future will come in time. A fourth reason is potentially that people just don't see it as an immediate tax benefit, as opposed to a traditional IRA where you're basically putting pre-tax in and you get post-tax out. So when you don't see the tax benefit up front, that could be a big reason that's deterring people from putting it away. And a fifth reason could be that just, many people prioritize their employer 401ks and really never explore further. They just take it and leave it. And they're maybe not, I understand, I hear you, Michael, personal finance is important, but I got other things to do. right? So they don't go a little further than they could. So this is like low-hanging fruit, but it's above stuff that your employer does. Your employer will not, generally speaking, try to get you to create a Roth IRA. So this is something that you have to do on your own in the US. There are some myths about the Roth IRA. First, some people, and this is a lucky situation, if you had the situation, good on you. Maybe you're saying, I make too much money, Michael, right? Well, let me introduce the backdoor Roth. So you can still contribute. There's a loophole in the tax code. So what you'll have to do, you'll speak to your brokerage and you'll ask them, as well as your tax advisor, you'll ask them how to do this. Typically, it just means to putting some money that is after tax away into another IRA and then rolling that IRA into and converting that IRA into a Roth IRA with your brokerage. Now, they may give you files like a 1099-Rs or 5498. Another myth is that it's only for young people. It is not. You can contribute at any age. Now, just keep in mind that if you don't have the Roth open for at least 5 years, you might be subject to paying tax. But if you're over 59 and a half, now if you're over 59 and a half, you won't have any penalties, but you will pay taxes unless you have it open for at least 5 years. If you have it open for at least 5 years, but you're not over 59 and a half, then any withdrawals, you will pay penalties, but you won't pay any tax. So the ideal thing is to take it out after 59 and a half, after 5 years. There's some more complications, for instance, making sure that you use the withdrawal, for instance, to pay for a first-time home purchase. Now, this can be up to a $10,000 lifetime maximum, or if you become disabled or pass away. If you're under 59 and a half, so there's a lot more detail than I can go into here in this video in terms of the actual intricacies, and I really don't want to encourage you too much to be taking money out of your Roth. You can, that's certainly good. You can certainly take money away from it. But once you take money away, you can no longer contribute back into the previous years. So that's it. Let's say it was 2018 or 2019, 2020, those years in the past. If you put the money in back then and you take the money out right now, you can't put that back in. Now, you can take out the principal that you put in, but again, once you take the principal out, you can no longer put the money back in. So I really wouldn't be dipping into the Roth like a regular emergency account. Now, you can take out the money if you're under 59 and a half, tax-free and penalty-free, provided you're taking out the contributions, the amount that you put in, not the actual earnings, not the interest, not the returns, but just the contributions. But once you take the contributions out, you can no longer make them again. So I wouldn't really urge you guys to be taking the money out of these accounts. Again, this is not investment advice. If you want investment advice, I suggest that you seek an investment advisor. But in my opinion, I don't think it's a good idea, because once you take it out, as I said, you can no longer put it back in. There's lots of different loopholes if you want to do it. Another myth is, I already have a 401k. I don't need this. Well, that's okay, but you might want to take advantage of as many tax advantage accounts there are. There are many tax advantaged accounts. Why would you be putting money elsewhere where you pay more tax? Because if you put money into other places, well, you've paid tax on your income in the first place, then you put money in somewhere else and you'll pay tax on the capital gains, on the returns, etc. Whether it's savings account, whether it's stocks, etc., bonds, you name it. Whereas having money in somewhere like a Roth, you can grow that, and when it grows, if you follow the guidelines, you'll be able to take it out tax-free and penalty-free, provided you follow the guidelines. So when should you consider a Roth IRA? Well, the best fit profiles are, for instance, young professionals, because they got time to grow it. They're not paying as much tax right now as they will in the future. Side hustlers and gig workers, because you probably don't have your 401k set up or 403b from a regular work. And also you can do this. You can contribute to these Roths. As long as you pay your taxes, you can still contribute to a Roth. You don't need a regular job for this. This is a perfect way of putting some money in and having tax-advantaged retirement account. Those in lower income years, because in lower income years, you're paying less tax. And as your income grows, obviously you'll probably be paying, hopefully, if things go out the right way, and I hope it's true for all of you, as you make more income, as you grow older into your 40s, 50s, and so on, hopefully you'll be making more income. that will probably mean you're paying more tax, more marginal tax at the highest rate, etc. So it's good when you have low income years to contribute, where maybe with your career transitions, you're going to take a gap year, for instance, or maybe if you're taking maternity or paternity leave, things like that. If you have a low income year, for whatever reason as well, it doesn't have to be just when you're young, but if you have a low income year, this is a great idea because again, you're going to qualify for the lower your income, the more you qualify for it, although there is a backdoor way. Also, those that want more retirement control, you'd be surprised what you can put into your Roth. It's not usually as limited as some employers' retirement accounts where you're only given a certain number of options to invest in. There's also the aspect of taking control yourself, being your own chief financial officer or CFO. So the more you can control these, the better. Look, a lot of these financial professionals are going to charge a lot of fees. They'll handle your stuff. But if you can do some of this yourself, you can probably cut some of the fees out. You can make more money and keep more money. This is one little place where you get to control that, for a little bit of education, for a little bit of time investment yourself, you can learn quite a lot. You can really make a big return on your time that you invested in this. So, why is the Roth IRA underused? It's not because it's weak. It's because people don't know how powerful it is. Now you do, and I'm so glad. So the question is, will you use it? And please comment down below, do you have a Roth IRA? What's been your experience? And subscribe for more wealth building tips. Until the next time.